Oh my gosh, it was so awesome. They were there, we were there, a lot of people were there. It was great. I loved it. Talking about, I went and saw Blink 182 in Florida last month. It was so amazing. My buddy was like, hey, do you want to go see Blink? And I was like, I'd love to, but okay, let's go. And as it turns out, some other people I knew were going to be there as well. They were in a different area though. I didn't really know the other two bands that were going to be playing with them, and for whatever reason, I didn't listen to their music prior to going, so sorry guys. So we get there, and when we get there, we're like, oh my God. We get to the venue, and we drive around probably like 3 or 4 times before we figured out where to park to get in. We had to walk about 5 to 10 minutes from where we were, but it's cool because we were seeing Blink, yeah. We actually got there about 3-ish hours early, and there were all sorts of people outside waiting. There were people with dyed hair and piercings, and we saw mohawks and cool stuff like that. So we waited around and had some casual conversation with people, and then out of nowhere they're like, can we have everybody's attention please? Please follow orderly lines here for a security check. And we were like, oh snap, here it comes. This was still like an hour and a half or 2 hours before they played. Can I just say I freaking love music? It's so, lol. So we got like this older security guard guy, and he came to like pat us down or scan us or whatever. He was pretty cool. I can't remember what he said, but basically he was having like a good time. And then this other lady comes out and she's like, no outside food, you better throw it away. And like, I had finished a bottle of water earlier, but like the trash cans were inside the venue. So I was like holding on to it until we got in. And she was like, sir, you gotta throw that away. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's empty. But just so you know, I almost thought about sneaking it in anyway, just to satisfy the rebel. So we get cleared because we're clear, and they let us in. We file in pretty early because everyone else was still getting checked. It was a huge venue, and there were already like a few people standing up close to the stage, probably like VIP or whatever. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be so close. And we get up pretty close, and while we're there, we start talking to some more random strangers. Like, that's not dangerous at all. Actually, in all situations, it's probably not a good idea. But we knew what we were doing. We're professionals, and we keep each other safe in all situations, I think. So in front of us were these pretty cool like older chicks who like work at this gym in the area and promote like health and fitness and stuff. Now remember them. One had dark brown hair and the other had light blonde hair. The one with the dark brown hair was slightly more aggressive. There was also this chick that was talking about the 700 and a half heavy death metal concert she'd been to, and how she's been fans of all these bands and has seen them all like 1 billion times each. And I'm like, wow, this is my first real concert ever. And so then this other guy comes in behind us and starts talking to us about like everything and more. We'll call him X-Ploud. He was a Pokemon. And he started telling us some stories, and then he started talking about this band he was in. Now keep in mind, the show hadn't started yet, and it's getting pretty loud in here because people are coming in. He gave us this like 200-word description of their sound, and that like he was their screamer, and he would randomly scream stuff, like I guess trying to like prove it to us or whatever. But every time he'd do it, a lot of people around us would stop talking and just like kind of look at him. It was kind of embarrassing. He was a real conversation dominator, and I'm not sure that he even took breaths between what he was saying. Then he started asking us if we wanted to learn how to scream and tried to like give us on-the-spot tutorials and stuff. We're just over there like, we're good, dude. Okay. It was really embarrassing, actually. Also, we made pretty cool friends with these other guys that were there. One had curly-ish short hair, and the other guy was like Buffy Buff McBuff dude. And we had normal conversations with them. So the first band goes on, and their singer was like, we're Way! And like immediately started playing. And I jokingly was like, oh, that's how you pronounce it? And my boy Curly Fry was like, 1 for 1 on the epic moments for the night. Because, you know, like, their name had 2 V's in it, and never mind. As the band kept playing, I was like, these guys kind of remind me of insert band name here. And my friend was like, yeah, dude, I could see that. And then you remember the brown-haired lady in front of us, right? I guess I kind of triggered her when I said that because, like, she turned around and was like, who said that? Oh, to slap them. They sound nothing like that band. Which is why I decided not to include the band's name in this video. So me and all the cool new friends I'd made all looked at each other in shock. I was like, we're not sure who said it, but I'm pretty sure they changed their mind and are very, very sorry. I'm not exaggerating that part either. I was a little bit scared. So Waves was pretty cool. Their bass player was like going crazy the whole time. He was literally the life of the stage during their whole performance. He was pretty awesome. So the next band was the Naked and Famous, and they went on and everybody started getting closer and it started feeling more and more crowded. It got really loud and their first song started and their really pretty singer decided to walk over to our side of the stage. The lights were turning and flashing and different stuff like that. I was really enjoying their first song, but when she got really close to our side, I thought I'd be kind of silly and wave at her and smile and stuff. And I'm not even kidding you, she looked straight at me and smiled and waved, and like, oh, it felt like all the lights in the whole venue turned on me and shined directly into my eyes as soon as it happened. Everyone around me was like, dude, she waved and smiled at you, that was for you. And I was like, oh my god. Curly Fry in the back yelling 2 for 2. Keep in mind, Xploud was still screaming in between each one of the songs, dude. During the last song they played, the singer came back to our side of the stage and she kind of glanced in the audience and I think she was literally looking for me. And I waved. She waved at me and smiled again and walked away. Curly Fry was in the back shouting 3. The other friend I had there was like, I'm going to the bathroom. Can you come out? And like, I totally would have went out to see her, but like when it was blink time, everyone had gotten so close. It was so crowded. There really was no moving anymore. So it had to wait. I looked at my friend and I was like, I don't think I can go to the bathroom and be able to get back this close, do you? And the aggressive brown-haired lady turned around and was like, I went to the bathroom and got my spot back. Try having 2 kids. And I was like, why? How would I try that? You kind of scare me. Chill out. You're still pretty cool though, but chill. So as the lights went dark a few seconds before Blink came on stage, I yelled out, I'm feeling this, which is the song they usually open their sets with. And you already know about me and Curly Fry, right? So Matt was running around on stage and he came to our side of the stage during a party wasn't playing anything on. I pointed at him and he opened his eyes really wide and pointed and smiled at me. It was okay, I guess. During one of the songs, a big pit opened up. I know, right? You wouldn't expect it, but it did. And this guy was like yelling, does anyone know where the pit is? And we're like, we'll get you over there. Also, during their set, I think somebody purchased a beverage simply to throw it on everyone and get everybody wet. That really wasn't cool, man. So they ran around and played like 2,000 good songs. It was a great old time. And on our way out, Xploud stayed close and was like, I think this is going to be the start of a beautiful friendship. And we were like, yeah. And we really haven't said anything to each other at all since. So the last thing that happened was my friend and I were outside and we were waiting for my other friend so I could say hey and stuff to her, and we just kind of sat outside waiting for her to come out. My feet were hurting pretty badly and my arms were tired from like throwing them around like an octopus or whatever. So while we're waiting for her, this guy who seemed to be like super intoxicated came up and started talking to us. He had this girl with him and he comes up and he's like, hey, this is my friend Sarah, or something, I forgot her name. But we're like, cool, man. Well, it's nice to meet you guys. And he started talking to us for a second. And his friend walked away and came back. And he was like, hey, you guys, this is my friend Sarah. And we're like, yep, cool. And he got lost in his conversation again and introduced her at least 2 more times. Like, I'm not joking. I'm serious. So I saw my other friend and we headed home. Overall, we had a pretty good time. It was pretty cool. That was my first concert. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any cool, crazy concert stories, leave them below in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this to your friends. Be sure to check out some of my other videos. And as always, you have a fantastic day.